Hello, here we have a Breitling Superocean Steelfish. This was the X Plus model. It's a few years old. I'm trying to get it as focused as possible. I can't get it too close to this camera because it doesn't do a very good zoom. I'll redo these reviews in the future when I'm able to get a better camera that can do macro video better. But for now, this is better than nothing. So anyway, here we have, it's a dive watch. It's 2,000 meter or 6,600 feet water resistant. As you can see, it has shiny markers. All the circles are outlined in metal, and so are the 12, 6, and the 9, as are the hands. So it's a very reflective dial. You can tell the time on this watch. Not in low light conditions, you can tell the time easily with just the smallest amount of light hitting the dial and reflecting. Allows you to see the time. It also has luminous markers and indices on it, which glow in the dark for when there's no light at all, as long as they're charged for a few seconds with a bright light source. It's got very good nighttime lume. It'll last all night long. Like I said, in low light conditions, it's actually very easy to read the time without even using the lume, just with that little reflection. As you can see when I hit it, certain angles there with the light. It's very easy. The Breitling symbol logo with the bee and the anchor and the wings is actually done in white gold. You can't tell on this video, but the black, this is the black version. They had black, blue, and like a silvery white. It has circular guilloche pattern on the dial. I probably didn't pronounce that correctly. It's a pattern imprinted onto the dial. This has just, it's circular. It's got the Breitling. Breitling puts a lot of wording on their dial. A lot of people don't like that. But some do. It's got the date. This is a chronometer certified model. This is the large model. It's about 44 millimeters diameter. It's got 22 millimeter lugs. It's got a tapering bracelet. It starts off at 22 millimeters. It goes down to about 20. As you can see, it's got the Breitling logo there. This is the Pro 1 bracelet. Later versions of this watch came with the Pro 2 bracelet, which is more with the diagonal. It's more like the Breitling Pilot watches. A lot of people like that design better. A little note, there's a Breitling signed clasp buckle. This one has the diver wetsuit extension. The Pro 2 bracelet did not. Which, you know, most people won't use these things in real diving situations, will never need a wetsuit. But it's nice when a watch that's supposed to be a professional instrument designed for a specific purpose actually is designed that way. So I think it should have the diver extension on here. Diver watches forever have had that, and it's disturbing to see a company like Breitling decide they're not going to do it anymore. It's got a very nice Breitling logo. It's textured back here. It has all the, it's written in French on the back. Breitling doesn't put Swiss made on the dial. They are Swiss made watches. It even says on the back, manufacture en Suisse, which is, you know, Swiss made. It's got the serial number, the model number on the back. It's got a screw down crown. Very thick case. It's a heavy watch, stainless steel, solid. It's got solid end links. These are solid, not hollow, where it attaches to the case. It has screw, these are screws over here, not push pins on the bracelet links. That's a nice touch. A lot of watches, even Omega uses push pins, which, you know, they're okay, you know, once the watch is sized, but the screws are very nice, very heavy duty professional. This one has a helium escape valve. This is a deep dive watch, so if you were a commercial diver working in a helium enriched bubble, they decompress when they're dry. They have to go through a lengthy decompression. So on a watch that didn't have that, you can have a burst crystal, because helium that's in the environment they live in gets past the seals and builds up in the watch, and when you decompress, it's got nowhere to go and it can explode the crystal. So certain watches like this, the Rolex Sea Dweller, the Omega Seamaster, as long as you unscrew the one that's on that watch, and some others now have this. Again, the only people who would find that useful are, you know, commercial divers who do helium, who do the helium decompression, living in like those diving bells with the helium atmosphere. It's a very small percentage of people, but this is one of the watches that actually could be used by those people on the job. I don't know how useful the bezel is for them, because obviously it's kind of hard to read, but it does have a lume dot on the bezel, which shows it's got a unidirectional bezel, very nice. So it's you know, if you set it there, that would be glowing in the dark if it were low light, and then when the hand moves away, you can tell the elapsed time. This is the traditional Breitling bezel with the rider tabs. Some people don't like that. And it's all around, it's a really nice quality piece. It's a quality piece. It's got a decorated movement inside, and what else? I'm trying to get everything here. That's pretty much it. It's got, you know, it's a very, very nice, high quality watch. This is my watch. I've worn it for a long time. I mean, I put it in rotation with other watches that I wear, because I have a few watches. But this one here, even though it's got some dings and things on it, it's nothing terrible. It really does stand up to wear, to bangs pretty well. It's got a sapphire crystal. It's got anti-reflective, I believe, on the underneath and on the outside, which means the outside can be scratched. Not the crystal, but the anti-reflective coating. I've never scratched my coating. In certain light conditions, the crystal could also look like a purpley blue color. That's the anti-reflective coating. I feel they only need anti-reflective coating on the underside of the crystal, but some people think otherwise. It's got a slightly domed crystal. You can't really tell. It's almost flat. It also has a little Breitling B etched over there. The counterfeits are getting very good. This is a genuine one. You could actually tell the difference between this and the counterfeits back when this was made, when the counterfeits came out. Counterfeits, I'm assuming, have gotten even better. So I don't know how well the counterfeits have caught up to the look and feel of the real thing here, but you know, this one's great. So anyway, I'm not sure if I missed anything. I'm relatively new at doing these video reviews of watches. Even though I've had watches for a long time, I've been on watch discussion boards. Just a little hobby of mine. I enjoy quality wrist timepieces, and this is one of my favorites right here, the Breitling Superocean Steelfish X Plus black dial. I have a large wrist, about 8 inches or so, a little more. It's got a nice presence to it. If you've got a small wrist, this watch might be a little too big for you. Although a lot of people like wearing large dinner plate watches. I have a few that are much larger than this, so I can get that feeling of wearing a large watch as well. And I'm going to do other videos on some other watches that I have, so you'll see those monster watches that I have. So anyway, this is a beautiful watch. Breitling really puts together a nice package. I don't have the boxes or the things. I don't really want to dig them out for these reviews. You can pretty much figure out what they're like. This is about the watch itself. You know, I've compared these against, you know, Rolexes. You know, the Rolex is the one that most people think is the best. Rolexes are great watches. I'm not going to bash them. But I'll tell you, this thing here, Rolex just came out with the Deep Sea, which is a larger, like, Sea Dweller, which is probably about this size or larger. Before that, they had the Sea Dweller and the Submariner, and this thing here dwarfs those. And it's a much heavier, and the fit and finish on this is beautiful. This can go head to head with, I believe, with anything like that, with Rolex or Omega. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it.